Hello, I'm Pastor Bill. I'd like to share with you a daily reflection today from C.S. Lewis. In this time as we are heading into Holy Week, one of the themes that comes to mind is what we confess in the Apostles' Creed, that Jesus, after he had died on the cross and was laid in the tomb, descended to the dead, or as an older version in our Lutheran liturgy has it, he descended into hell. And sometimes that particular concept confuses people. We don't talk a lot about it. So I thought I would share some thoughts from C.S. Lewis as we contemplate Christ's suffering for our sake, and just what it means to say that he came to save us from sin, death, and the devil. He came to save us from being alienated from God. And the shorthand word for being alienated from God is hell. Whatever your images of devils with pitchforks and fire and brimstone are, ultimately, hell simply means being separated from God, being without God. And here are C.S. Lewis's thoughts from his book, The Great Divorce. It's an interesting fantasy novel, actually, and in it, the characters, there's a bus that makes a daily round trip between heaven and hell, and the characters are free at any time to get on the bus in one place and get off in the other place. And you would think, well, that would be an obvious choice, wouldn't it? Well, but here's what C.S. Lewis says. He's actually writing in the words of one of the characters in the novel, George MacDonald. There are only two kinds of people in the end. Those who say to God, "Thy will be done," and those to whom God says in the end, "Thy will be done." All that are in hell choose it. Without that self-choice, there could be no hell. No soul that seriously and constantly desires joy will ever miss it. Those who seek find. To those who knock, it is opened. Hell is a state of mind. He never said a truer word. And every state of mind, left to itself, every shutting up of the creature within the dungeon of its own mind, is in the end hell. But heaven is not a state of mind. Heaven is reality itself. All that is fully real is heavenly. Hell is smaller than one pebble of your earthly world, but it is smaller than one atom of this world, the real world. Look at yon butterfly. If it swallowed all hell, hell would not be big enough to do it any harm, or to have any taste. A damned soul is nearly nothing. It is shrunk, shut up in itself. Good beats upon the damned incessantly, as sound waves beat on the ears of the deaf, but they cannot receive it. Their fists are clenched, their teeth are clenched, their eyes fast shut. First they will not, in the end they cannot open their hands for gifts, or their mouths for food, or their eyes to see. Then no one can ever reach them? Only the greatest of all can make himself small enough to enter hell. For the higher a thing is, the lower it can descend. A human being can sympathize with a horse, but a horse cannot sympathize with a rat. Only one has descended into hell. So it's me talking again. And that one, of course, is Jesus Christ, who came to fulfill God's plan by saving all of us from being alienated from God. To be alienated from God is certainly not God's choice for us. God has chosen heaven. We choose our own hells. Thanks be to God who came to us in Jesus Christ to destroy the power of hell, to descend into hell, and rise victorious. Amen.